Well, it's the Nipah. That's right, it's the Daily Nipah, everybody. Rika Furude Simulator 25. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to try it yourself, socksmadepeoplesexy.itch.io. You too can jump into Rika Furude land and see how many fates you get. See the leaderboards over here? We are one of those scores. We are not going to beat this score, though, that's for sure. This is where we finished in Season 1. And if you'd like to get up on the leaderboard, we could happily get you here. Let us know how your progress is going. But before we start the podcast, Rika. Oh, she's out and about again. Looking to fight. Well, she probably, punched this building down, honestly. Yeah, you. Alright. Punch this podcast into gear. This is for the Rika Furude next to me. Rika Furude, Rika Furude.
We are once again back.
Welcome back, Polly.
The universe. And I've exercised a little bit of restraint there in referencing Airbag by Radiohead because I'm pretty damn sure I've opened this show with that song's chorus before. But we are back!
Woo!
For day 2 of the Sockscast Game of the Year Spectacular for 2024. We hope you're all nice and rested up from the absolute mammoth of a show that was yesterday's, because we're not.
Yeah.
No, we're just charging through.
I got blueberries and sake now.
We're charging
blueberries and sake.
We are. I am chock full. I am chock full of cocktail shrimp and Oreos.
I had a thing of canned soup.
Trying to think of
oh
maybe the saddest dinner anybody's had. I just ate a ring of cocktail shrimp and had 4 Oreos.
So see,
Polly!
Anytime somebody has cocktail shrimp, that's a win.
I think so. I'm a big fan of cocktail shrimp. I remember a few days ago, people telling me, you know what, you're pretty real for just buying the cocktail shrimp ring and eating it yourself.
Fuck yeah.
It's like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna live in the lap of luxury, motherfucker.
I think Ant was eating some cocktail shrimp from a ring earlier.
Once again by my absolutely gonna be dead by the end of this co-host. To my immediate virtual right, he's worked too hard for his illusions just to throw them all away. It's Rhett!
Hello.
That is a double entendre that I'm very proud of for coming off the top of my head right now, because that both refers to a song lyric, and koikatsu cards are called illusion cards.
Damn, I still don't get it, but I'm impressed.
Look at me go. I'm still in tip-top shape. Best podcast host doing it. Joe Rogan, suck my asshole. My immediate virtual left, coming January 2025 to a theater.
You want Joe Rogan to suck your asshole?
Hi.
Hey, John, you're ready for day number 2.
Really, it's really a January release, huh?
It really is.
Not great.
No, it's not usually when you want to be in theaters.
No.
But that's the best we could do. You're ready for day 2. Rhett's ready for day 2.
Again, I can't emphasize this enough. We figured out that we can just microwave sake and then have hot sake at home.
Yeah, hot sake is pretty good. I'm refraining from alcohol while doing the 4-hour podcast. But,
yeah, it's not great for the throat.
It's probably not. Yeah, like I was gonna say, the throat thing is not gonna. You're not gonna like this in a bit. I don't think.
Oh my god, I've been standing this entire time. I think I need to lower the desk.
Wait in the world. Time to change. Time to change. But you know who else is ready for day 2 of the Sockscast End of the Year Spectacular?
Me.
It's our good pal Angry Ed.
And Angry Ed.
Angry Ed, he's gonna get things started for us on day 2.
Thank you, Angry Ed.
Us, thankfully, with a listener list that is in audio format, and I'm gonna press play on that sumbitch in 3, 2, 1.
Hello there, everybody. It's Angry Ed. Another end of the year is upon us, and this one could have been a lot better. But let's talk games. In fact, let's talk 3 games.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Values.
Helldivers 2 for the PC and PS4.
Ah.
Despite how awful everything is and will get, Helldivers 2 still remains a fun game with enough satire to make Mark Twain claim it's too much. Make no mistake, you are definitely not the heroes the in-game propaganda think you are. But underneath all that satire of a hyper-capitalist, galaxy-conquering super is a fun team-based extraction shooter.
Starship Troopers.
Ragdolls, explosions, robots, explosions, giant bugs, explosions, incredible scenery, explosions, humor, and did I mention the explosions? Even when things aren't working well, the game continues to chug along and provide hours of entertainment, despite Sony's best attempts to ruin the experience for everyone. I hope this game will continue to be a success going forward, because I could really use some dark chuckles and a tight gameplay loop in one convenient package.
Are we the baddies?
Oh my goodness.
Abiotic Factor for the PC. Along with Voices of the Void, this game forms the cornerstone of the emerging genre I like to call the Half-like, a game inspired by Half-Life and its Source Engine successors, where you play a bunch of scientists deep in an Australian science facility that seems like a cross between Black Mesa and the SCP Foundation. Something has gone terribly wrong.
The SMPS Foundation?
And you and your friends must find a way to escape to the surface, all while battling escape test subjects, interdimensional horrors, and a crazy religious cult that broke a bunch of things because they didn't understand what they were dealing with. A survival game with a unique twist, the game has you jumping across multiple dimensions to find equipment and piece together tools that will help you progress through the damaged facility in an effort to finally be free. Very fun game, especially with friends, and while still in development, the updates come frequently enough that it's great to be able to come back after a couple months to experience the changes.
Sure.
Project Silverfish for the PC. Technically, this one isn't even out yet, it's just a playable demo on Steam, but it's amazing. Project Silverfish is a stalker-ish FPS from the creator of Adaka, speaking of half-legs, set in a post-human world now inhabited by anthropomorphic lizard people. You play one of the 6 heavily in-debt character types, or a randomly generated character, deposited into a zone full of trigger-happy militants, bizarre mutants, crazy robots that spit canned film strip lines at you, and anomalous phenomena. From there, you proceed to take jobs for various factions, fight others, collect artifacts to boost your stats, sell for cash, and of course, just try to survive an incredibly hostile world. The demo is well polished, offering excellent control and gunplay, as well as enough variety to play it over and over again. I've put nearly 48 hours into it, which really reminds me of game demos of the past that provide a slice of the full game, but with enough going on to keep it coming back. I can't wait for the full release.
All right.
And that's going to do it for me.
Fair enough.
I hope to see you all same time next year. Stay safe, stay hydrated, be excellent to one another.
Bill and Ted, baby.
You, Ed. I think it's like, what, 2 demos that have made that have topped somebody's Game of the Year list?
That's impressive, yeah.
What are they putting in demos these days?
They don't even,
just give really good oral sex or something? Or
I'd be playing demos constantly.
I mean, I remember
me?
being like that with the Just Cause 2 demo.
The Just Cause 2 demo, I remember you hacking that shit for infinite time, and you literally, it was literally the only game you played for like a month until the game actually came out.
Yeah. I may have liked the demo more than the game.
Yeah, I heard that a lot, actually, when it came out. I finished Just Cause 2, yeah. It's okay. It was fun, but it's okay. Anyway, that's literally not what we're here to talk about at all.
Yeah.
We have another listener list, right? I can't believe it.
Hey. This comes in from Venner Orion.
There's a name.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Number 1, Harvestella. I got a recommendation from the last place I'd expect and wound up playing it, and once I got into it, really enjoyed it. This feels like the closest thing to a sequel to Rune Harvest Frontier that I'm ever going to get, but it's obviously its own thing. The story and even side stories were all pretty interesting, and the game had a nice balance of combat and farming. I still can't get over how interesting the plot of the game was, and struck a nice balance between being post-apocalyptic and being upbeat at the same time. Number 2, Vampire Survivors.
Hey.
I finally played this and I'm kind of stunned at how good this game is, along with how much effort was put into it, especially with the most recent DLC for it. Me and my friend co-opted through the Castlevania stuff, and it was genuinely one of the most fun games I played all year. The Castlevania DLC sounds insane.
Yeah,
like,
the
they've
Castlevania
really
DLC
done
seems to have
the work
like
for this game.
added
Like,
so
I could
much.
not be happier that Vampire Survivors is still a game I'm hearing about.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Dope.
And number 3, Ease 10 Nordics.
Hey.
I started out liking this game a lot. Then the chase with the giant whale happened, and I fucking knew I loved this game. This might be my favorite Ease game, and definitely my favorite of the newer ones. I also love Karja. She might be my favorite female protagonist in a video game in a long while, and the story was pretty good, and it didn't drag out or overstay its welcome. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, yo.
Yay!
Solid list, damn.
And didn't complain about the ship combat.
Did not. Yeah, I was waiting for the ship combat blur. Part of the blur.
I think we're at 5 Falcom mentions and
Nice.
one conspicuous absence. I'm curious if that'll be rectified.
I'm really kind of the fact that I have not heard it yet. I'm shocked. Yeah. All right.
I am also shocked.
Well, I suppose it's time for me to get us started for the day.
Let's do it.
So I think you all are probably have been sitting here this whole time, especially through yesterday's, and you were just like, "There's one glaring thing missing from Polly's list. Where the visual novels at?
True.
What the hell? Where those go?"
You are the VN queen, motherfucker.
I saved it all up, and I got a real good one for you.
Ooh.
How do y'all feel about Seabed?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So, up front, I'm going to dispel and dispute the way that this game is marketed and presented on the various storefronts that it appears, because I think the expectations that it creates about being like a sprawling mystery about a missing person really does set people up with the wrong idea. like this is not a missing person story. This game literally tells you what happened 90 minutes in.
Oh.
And it's not hard to guess what it is.
Oh.
And that threw me off when I first started playing this game, because I was like, all right, I'm looking for clues. Like, you know, I'm in theory mode. Let's go. And then we're just doing cute stuff at the beach with our girlfriend and going on trips and like being sad around our apartment. Oh, I think I know where this is going. No, you're not gonna need a notepad to jot down anything for theories or to understand what this game like. When this is a game where just like when it finally kind of like coils itself around you and everything that it's doing, you know, that's when
For me, it all snapped into focus, like probably 2/3 in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, and then
That's
started crying.
when the game becomes its most brilliant. So the core of the story is between Sachiko and Takako, two girls who have grown up together. The game's story spans a time from when they met in school to eventually becoming lovers and starting a business together and just experiencing this lifetime of success in a very short amount of time.
It is mostly them as adults, which is also very nice.
Yes, it's a very adult story. It's very mature. It's lovely. It's warm. It's captivating. Both characters are just unbelievably well defined and fun. They are not like archetypes at all. They are just very cool, like people. And they work so well together. Their relationship is so warm and just loving, and they have so much fun with each other, and the chemistry is perfect. And then there's like Dr. Hibiki, who is also just a fantastic perspective and voice to everything that we're treated throughout. Like we get to experience things from her point of view, and she's like a front runner for like best character too. She's fantastic. I guess like my baseline sell for this game is it's just like a great story with a lot of perspective changes that gradually paint the canvas with the broad, beautiful strokes of lives lived. I don't think it's hard to understand what this game's doing at any point. And I also think that it's really hard to talk about the impact that it has without spoiling what you probably already know is going on.
Another one of these?
But again,
I'd probably leave it like unsaid, because I do feel like there is a potency to that moment where it's like, oh, this is what this is about.
Yeah, like it is just a very grounded story, and it being so grounded is foundational to understanding some very intense things that it's dealing with, and like the very grounded and mundane way that it approaches its climax is one of the most affecting moments I've ever experienced in a story. I've never experienced something like that be presented the way this game handles it, and it is bar none like the most beautiful moment ever. Wow. It's so amazing.
All right.
Seabed is awesome. It is just
Seabed.
It's a little. It does have pacing issues. I think that it does kind of spin its wheels a little, but it is an amazing.
Like fucking every VN.
Every VN. Ever.
I remember bitching when somebody was a friend was playing this game and complaining about the pacing, and I was like, every fucking VN in the universe has shitty pacing.
They probably like Umineko too, I bet. They do! I bet as a fucking Umineko fan complaining about pacing. Get out of here, Umineko.
No, you're welcome here, please.
You're welcome here, but
you're valid.
But get out.
I'm still gonna have some thoughts. But
we all want thoughts.
But yeah, Seabed is amazing. Like I think it's one of the more like once I was completely open to what it was doing, and there's like, oh, I'd got myself in the right mindset. Oh, then it hits a whole different way, and I literally cruised through it in like 2 days.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, gorgeous story, fantastic characters. I have never cried so hard at what they do with this ending.
Oh,
Christ, dude, it's so good.
I think it's like a completely it's an inverted House in Fata Morgana.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, where it's just Fata Morgana takes like the most dramatic and kind of loud path to get there, and then Seabed takes the completely quiet, grounded path to get to the similar place.
Yeah, they go to the same place, but they get there, and I think that I just love this one so much more for the way that it does it. It's just that moment just hit me like a goddamn ton of bricks.
Oh,
to use an overused idiom.
Ollie's bricked up.
I was bowled over at how classy that was, and just how amazing that moment feels. And then when it contextualizes shit like the first lines of the story, I was like, oh.
This is a real good one.
Yeah, this one's great. Like, this one's got all that Dojin energy, too.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
recently got updated, so it includes all of the Switch stuff, too.
Oh.
There's some extra bonus content that was in the Switch version. It is all now in the PC version, and it's got a better engine that's less clunky now. So
that's good.
Nice.
That was another issue I had with this game, is that the engine was really clunky when I played it, but it got updated about a month ago.
Fine-tuned, even.
Switch content, as well as a new engine, and it just feels and plays really nice now. I gave the first couple chapters another look the other night just to kind of refresh my mind on this one a little bit. And
no, it needs that jank. What's the engine? The engine that all those old games ran. It needs that end script jank to feel legit.
Yeah. It definitely, like, that original version definitely had that on-scripter jank that stuff.
Love to see it.
But yeah, Seabed's awesome. Great Yuri visual novel. You're in for a great time. Just kind of just be prepared to kind of get cozy with it.
Yeah,
get cozy with it.
Just trust it.
It's gonna get you there. Even if you got to take like a break between chapters, just let it get you there.
It's a long book, but it's a good one. Yeah, it'll get you there.
It is a visual novel that reads like an actual novel. It feels more written like an actual novel and not a light novel, I guess, is kind of.
Yeah, it's like it's you're bundling up for like an 800-page Murakami book, basically.
Yeah. There
Same.
You go. Best way I can put it.
Fucking better than any Murakami book I've read, though.
John!
I got a listener list for you.
I want a listener list.
From Pago.
Yeah, I saw that name, and I've never wanted to say their name out loud because I've never wanted to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Japanese pronunciation.
Epego.
Epego. Ipego-san has a list for us. That's hello, I got my list. Number 3, Momodora Moonlit Farewell. Was that this year or
that
last
was
year?
this year's? That was the new one.
Okay. A solid end to the Momodora trilogy. After Every Under the Moonlight took a lot of people by surprise, I was wondering what to expect more from Ardeen. Yeah, a lot of people were. Minoria, Momodora's spiritual successor, didn't really impress me, but once I saw the trailer for Moonlit Farewell, I knew this was going to be good.
Ooh.
The right amount of difficulty, good boss fights, and a large world to explore makes this a great send-off to the franchise. It's also a great standalone title. Number 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, second mention.
Like
Probably
a Dragon.
the most ambitious Yakuza Like a Dragon game ever. The story is full of melodrama galore as usual, but the side content is just even more bonkers. There's just way too many things to do, and I struggled to do everything until the post-game. The combat system has been refined from Yakuza 7 for better and worse. The plot suffers quite a bit before the finale, but the finale more than makes up for it with tons of fan service and an homage to what Kazuma Kiryu makes Kazuma Kiryu a 21st century gaming icon. If you're a middle-aged adult gamer, this is the game for you.
Woo!
And number 3, Metaphor Refantasio. This is what I wanted Final Fantasy to be in the 21st century, an epic turn-based RPG adventure on the power of fantasy to change lives for the better. I've been waiting for this game since it was first announced as Project Refantasy. Metaphor is just a timely game as it talks about the politics behind prejudice and discrimination in a very blunt manner. I love how every party member is of a different race to highlight the power of diversity. The game also has a very solid turn-based system and an amazing OST. Hello, Buddhist priests. Atlas never ceases to amaze me, and this was a better experience than Persona 5. That's it.
Nice.
I like that Refantasio has been as popular as it has been because it is turn-based, and I think that we've seen a shift from turn-based systems in big RPGs as of late. And, like, I'm really glad that
Same,
they're
actually.
doing what they do.
I like turn-based.
But
I don't think it's
kind of
bad.
like an action element to it. Like, you can kind of like whoop up on monsters a little bit before the fight, like in an action game sense, but you still do the turn-based thing unless you out-level them by a lot.
The thing is, don't forget, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is also a turn-based RPG.
It is, that's right!
Let's go!
Those devs, they're just like...
They're having
fucking
the most fun.
Yeah.
They're having the most fun because they're making a lot of games.
They're making a lot of
every year.
games now, yeah.
They're like one of the few AAA studios that's like doing what AAA studios should be doing, which is reusing engines and assets and making a shit ton of
used
games.
to do.
Making more games than you can keep up with. That's the job of a AAA game studio. Indie Creates is doing it too. Just make more games than people can play.
Yeah, that's a solid plan. Make
It's
them all the same engine.
It's a good money plan.
Save you
For
some
sure.
money.
People can pick and choose what they engage with. Like, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's every studio makes one game every 5 years.
5 years, more like 7 and 8 in some
And if
cases.
every person on the
Yeah,
planet, and if every person on the planet Earth doesn't engage with it, well, guess what? That was a
You're dead.
waste. You just
It was a
wasted
bomb.
10 years.
Yeah, it's disgusting and dumb.
So yeah, Like a Dragon. I'm gonna play those someday.
Hey there,
Alright,
Ketten.
next.
How's it going?
Brett,
Oh, it is me.
it's you.
What's going on, Ketten?
Okay, so I said the bottom 5 games were not perfect. They all had some flaw.
Right.
Now we're in the perfect game category.
All right. You got some big shoes to fill, dog.
This is maybe the one that surprised me the most getting this far. It's The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Tales. Oh, Boundless Trails, sorry.
Obama's Trails?
Yeah.
Okay, hit me.
Yeah, we
When I
did
just
get the
looked at
miracle.
this
We're in
game,
season 2
I
now.
didn't see any flaws. I just thought I had an excellent time with this start to finish.
Man, sometimes
Fuck
that's
yeah.
all it takes, man.
I'm gonna play this before Cold Steel.
And it just... It's like it's a good throwback to like that certain era of Falcom being a little less pretentious, I guess, and just every game needing to be
An epic.
or a 4,200 hour epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, I think it was a Vita game, but it still has that like
That does get
PS2,
really
PSP
tiring.
energy.
Good.
Like, it's just very fun to play, very basic. It's like kind of stripped down to ease. I've heard it's compared to the Zwei games as well. You have like your main character just kind of has like a 3-hit combo at a jump, and you have a magic partner and some
What more
spells.
do you fucking need? What more do you fucking need?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
you your fairy. All the stages have one of the main gimmicks is like the seasonal thing. Like when each stage has like the initial version will be like, oh, it's springtime now, and then later in the story you get access to the summertime version and it's harder enemies.
To go on about RPGs these days, please give me smaller RPGs. I don't have the patience to play a 100+ hour RPG every single time another RPG comes out. There's a reason I play the old Final Fantasy games so much. There are RPGs with some length, but they are not lengthy RPGs, if you understand what I'm saying. Just the amount of need for everything to be grand scale and epic is too much. Give me more bite-sized things. That UFO 50 feels so good. If you want to know what happened, Ketten, you can watch the video. I have it up on the YouTubes. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't, seen it or during a different season. But it's the 81st Daily Nipah. It's actually the one that came out 2 days before Christmas. It was a Christmas miracle. Ugh, excuse me. But, excuse me, I'll link the video as I, talk here again for a second, but, excuse me. There we go. Oh, right, they got that down. But yeah, like, seriously, like, give me RPGs like Grimstone. Give me RPGs that are just, like, I'm all for a grand story. But you can also tell these grand stories in a few hundred less hours, too. It doesn't need to be dragged out every time, you know? And there's nothing wrong with enjoying those kind of games. I do enjoy one of those every now and again. But, like, when everything needs to be this grand, super experience, like, it just doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel that grand anymore when everything is that grand experience, you know? Like, there's no mix-up in it. There's no relief from, like, constantly going into hardcore super story mode. And I don't know, I just like the idea of having, like, a bit smaller of a scale in a lot of these cases. You can be grand with your story, with your game not being scaled to 1,000,000. Like, all these games now are like, this map is larger than Europe, because of how the 90 different locations you can go into, and I think that's really neat. But what else is there, you know? So I don't know. I would prefer some longer, or for some shorter, dense RPGs as opposed to longer, too dense RPGs. That's why I'm looking forward to, like, the Oath of Felghana. I heard that it's not super long, but just really good. Stuff like that. I think that's, maybe it's just me getting tired of how many big RPGs there are. That's probably what it's more along the lines of. But there's just so many, and it's just, I don't know, like, open world, super explorative games. I can only do so many.
And then you beat the game and you go into the post game. Now you've got the autumn version of the stage, and it's even harder. And then apparently once you actually do New Game Plus, then you get access to the 4th season for every stage.
Oh.
which is like even harder. So they really reuse, recycle,
really
repurpose
getting their use out of those environments.
So I never actually got to the 4th version.
Also, reusing sprites isn't always a bad thing. There are things like, well, how fondly do we look upon things like Mega Man when they're the same sprites between games, or like homages like that. Even Mega Man X has an homage to the NES Mega Mans with one of the bats in Armadillo stage, and UFO 50 does all sorts of sprite reusing in fun ways. Like, it can absolutely be used well too. And how they mentioned smaller games from the smaller AAA studios out there are a pretty good way to go too.
Because you don't have to do all that to beat the game,
right?
So like the first area will be like spring, then the second area will start at summer. So you're not seeing the same season all the time. The story in this one just goes really hard. Like, it starts as like this quaint little, action RPG, and just it goes big and fun in a way that I love. And it's like, again, we said it earlier of like, oh, you told a whole Trails arc in one game. It's just like, no, it's, again, sometimes games are just allowed to have like a 10-hour climax that goes ridiculous.
Thank you.
This game goes big and then it ends. But again, like Grand Blue Fantasy, it leaves a little bit dangling in the ending, and then you unlock the 3rd version of every stage, and you do some more stuff, and then you get the true ending. It's just, it was very satisfying. I had a great time.
That was great.
Yeah, good. Just very simple.
I like it.
How would you compare it with E7?
E7, I would, just to be general, I would probably put it in a similar category. Even though I think I personally liked it more. I think they're very comparable, I would feel.
I like E7, so yeah, that's a win.
Okay.
Like, graphically, I think pretty much exactly the same kind of era of cute, colorful. This game is so colorful. Like, they just went kind of nuts with the art design in this.
This is kind of like the Falcom that I really like a lot, is when they're like throwing colors around and not afraid to like make a world that looks just like lively and fun.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Are there? I don't remember that actually.
Not this one? Oh, okay.
I think they had moved past sprites, but like it's still.
You're right. E7 was models, but they're cute models.
Take chances in your video games, everybody. There's nothing more boring than seeing stock shit. Like, breathe life into that bitch. Show us what you really mean. Make it colorful, make it vibrant, make it beautiful, make it ugly. Just make it a really awesome world. Stop thinking that it needs to be like these specific things, Just have fun with it. There's so many fun games that think so far out of the box in situations like this that, like, that I think a lot of game devs and especially companies can kind of miss the point when it comes to the art style or just the game in general. So, like, just have fun with it. There's so much, like, look at Super Crush KO, or the shmup variant of the game from them. Fuck, what was their name? And click the info tab here. Vertex Pop, that's it. Vertex Pop has a lot of cool small games. They're on sale right now, by the way, for like $1.50 a piece. Super Crush KO is great. Graceful Explosion Machine is great. This is just one example. Like, there's all sorts of games that have like very creative, non-realistic universes. Like, I'd even consider Fallout a creative, non-realistic universe, So just like do your thing and stick to it.
Yeah, they're
little guys.
Yeah, they're Final Fantasy VII.
Fuck yeah.
Proportion models.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's sort of like how there's E6 Origin, Oath of Felghana, and then there's E's 8, 9, 10. But then there's kind of this era that's like the E7, and the
they didn't make many E's games in that era.
Yeah. Well, and then the E's 4, the memories.
Sorry, I'll stop pausing so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I like this game a whole lot. It's just very unpretentious, I guess.
That's I love that about Falcom.
Yeah, I like Falcom when they can just be like, hey, let's make a cute little adventure.
Yeah. So next up, Polly.
We got another listener list. This comes in from the greatest streamer on Twitch.tv. It's our good pal Grims. Gremlins are us.
Nice.
Says, hi, Soxcast. Here are my top 3 for 2024.
We got.
John, get that tally out.
This one's getting close.
Now we're gonna start getting close. Balatro.
Yep.
Is as hypnotic as it is intuitive. I never thought I'd get much out of a deck building roguelike themed around poker hands, but I somehow clocked 90 hours this year.
Not bad, not bad.
Doesn't shock me. Next one, Doronko Wonko. I played this. This is a very fun, free little game where you play as a dog. This is a fun as heck, and it's free on Steam. It's only like an hour, but it's so satisfying to run around the house as a Pomeranian and just cause a ruckus. This game is just an absolute delight. Play it. Like, you like small games, John. Doronko Wonko.
Doronko Wonko.
Which I think just means drunk dog. I think Doronko may just be like a play on drunk. And Wonko is just like dog, or like Won, which is like the sound a dog makes, and Ko, which is just child. Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, is like drunk dog.
Oh, look at you with the knowledge, Polly, you son of a bitch.
Another Crab's Treasure caught my attention as it was made by the same devs as Going Under. I adore the setting, the combat is really satisfying, and I love the different abilities you can use with the shells. Little buggy, but a small price to pay for being able to play as a crab wearing a party hat.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I've heard that game compared to Souls of all things.
Weirdly enough,
every game's compared to Souls.
I've heard as well, and I just like I've not played it, and
Rika Furude is compared to Souls.
If she made Dark Souls with a crab. Anyway,
cool.
With much love, Grims, heart emoji. Hey, heart emoji. Right back to you, John.
That's me.
It's time.
That is you. Number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get on with it. Let's go, John.
This, I don't have an explanation, y'all. This one just took over my brain. It took over my brain for like a month. It's not Namco games. I don't know. My number 5 is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky.
Yeah, I knew this one was coming. I knew this was going to be on here at some point. I'm not mad at it, because I think Mystery Dungeon games are cool.
She's pissed,
I just got obsessed.
Yeah,
it was
pissed.
my world.
Yeah.
I was like,
living.
It's not even... It's really easy. Like, as a Mystery Dungeon game, this is baby's first Mystery Dungeon, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I still got my ass kicked for like the first 10 hours or so, and then I figured it out, and then I cruised through the rest of the game. Like, if you're here for a Mystery Dungeon, there's an unlockable post-game dungeons where that are like, there's at least one that's just, you're put to level 1, solo, no items, it's just a roguelike, and there's 100 floors. This is just a roguelike now.
Here's the roguelike part.
So there is meat here. I didn't get far with that one. I was tired because I played this game for 40 fucking hours.
Yeah.
There's just like an ineffable quality to it. The writing's just there. It's just cute. It's cute, and it goes so much harder than you expect. It goes so much harder than any mainline Pokemon game.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, like watching you post the things that you were posting about this game in the Discord and on social media was just like, what is happening? This is like a Pokemon game. Like,
that's what I'm telling you. So you know why I play?
Ain't perfect. Let's go, Rika.
I had, like a list of like
Come on, Rika.
top 700 songs from like a Japanese site voter
Straits
list.
have come back though,
And
for
we
real.
were just going down a list, listening to different songs, and one of them was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And we put it on, and it was like,
Back in second.
This rips. This is a really good song.
Yeah.
And then I scrolled down to the comments, and people were posting these quotes from the game, and it was just like,
What is going on here?
What is happening? This is a Pokemon game. There's like tearful,
Oh my
like
god.
fair, like death speeches, and I'm like, this isn't.
What
this isn't
the
Pokemon.
hell?
What the fuck's going on
Are you
here?
doing that RPG Maker thing where you make up a fake scene?
You're making up like a fake scene to set to the song? No, no, it's all there in the game.
Wild.
It's fucking nuts. It's not like great, but who cares? I just got dumbstruck by it. It's the combination of the music. The mystery dungeon loops are really pleasant, even though they're easy.
Rico
The music, I already said the music's great, and just all of the incidental character interactions with your Pokemon are just cute as hell. I just love all of them. I love my partner, my Cyndaquil partner. I love him so much, and he loves me. I had a friend say. I had a friend say that my partner in my Totodile partner in Pokemon Explorers of Sky was the first boy that ever loved me. Really sweet. So I think the main game's good, and then the special episodes that were added in Explorers of Sky, especially the 5th special episode, pushed it over to just like something completely next level. Like there's 2 halves of the climax with 2 different sets of characters, and you only see one in the main game, which was also the only one you saw in the original Explorers of Time and other one release. And then you see the second half of that in special episode 5, and the 2 tie together really, really well, and I really think you need both for it to work. There's a whole post-game story after that. It's not very good. And it's very grindy to get there. So just play that main game and play the special episode, and it's just something special, y'all. It's just nice.
Now Rika
really
is
like
something
this game. I
special.
wanna play every Pokemon Mystery
This should have been
Dungeon
my
game.
game of the
It's
year.
so cute. Fuck.
UFO 50 was a bit unfair.
When the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon just fucking hits.
When Crowfile. Oh my god. The tears I shed for Dusknoir and Grovyle in this game. There are like 3 or 4 points where I cried at this game.
Oh my.
It's just like a really good it's just a really cute, good YA novel.
Good.
It's just very nice.
I think of everything John has listed thus far, this is the one I would be most likely to get into.
Yeah. I've got a portable console coming in the mail. I think I can put this in my diet just to kind of see. Sure.
Because I was curious, so I just, instead of playing the entire game, I just watched one of the endings on YouTube, like the main story ending of the special episode, and I was just like, okay, this does actually have some writing chops. What's going on?
Go,
here?
Rika!
Like, it was like the cutscene before the final boss is like this riveting 12-minute.
Oh my god!
It's insane. They play this song called "Through the Seas of Time." It has like the same like story energy motion of like the epic theme and going to the lavas fighting Chrono Trigger. Except you're riding a Lapras.
And then you crash the Lapras into Lavos.
Honestly, more or less. There's a lot of Chrono Trigger DNA in this.
All right,
it's very
I'm
good.
in. I'm in. Let's go.
Nuts. I fucking love Explorers of Sky.
70th triple double.
The next one is jankier to play, but the story hits a lot of folks about as hard, so I'm excited. The first one sounds like it's really just kind of light and goofy, kind of more what you'd expect from a mystery dungeon. But it's still
from a Pokemon game.
From a Pokemon game, but it still looks cute. That's what. Yeah, I think this is actually the most ret core of the top 10.
That's insane. It's the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. Jesus Christ.
Ret pilled, you heard it here.
Well, if that is it, I do believe we have an audio list.
Yeah. Ooh, double triple.
Okay.
Coming in
Double
from our
triples.
good pal
Much.
Raven,
Ooh.
which we will be playing.
Raven the GM, here we go.
The card wouldn't have kept me waiting. But still, I forgive you. Hello, greetings and salutations, gentle beings. I, Raven, have decided to grace you all with my participation in your quaint little annual celebration. Do try to contain your excitement. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm talking like Q from Star Trek.
A little bit.
Why not? After all, my Game of the Year number 3 is the simply named Star Trek Borg. A delightfully clever interactive movie. You play as a Starfleet cadet, time-traveling to save his own father, with the playful intervention of Q, played by John Delancey himself.
Nice.
Oh, I hear your skepticism. Little tricks like dying in order to get vital clues, and sometimes progressing by doing nothing at all? Dated and cliche, you declare. Well, this little gem might just surprise you with its charms. It's been preserved online by a fan, and it's a short play, so why not take a walk on the nostalgic side, mon capitaine? And next, yes, I know what you're thinking. Do I have for you, on my list, a turn-based puzzle-like strategy game?
Nope.
Over-the-top characters and cute retro graphics? Well, I can't help having impeccable taste. Number 2 is Tactical Breach Wizards.
Oh, yeah.
In this
Technical
game,
Breach Wizard.
the powers of your witty and colorful squad mates
Heard that, Polly.
flip the usual combat mechanics upside down. Like your healer, who can revive you from death, meaning she has to shoot you dead first. And your sniper, who has deadly aim as long as he predicts where his future target is moving to. Also intriguing is the setting of a world where magic is weaponized science, and the plot of a rogue mercenary bent on starting World War III. It's a refreshing treat for your brain and funny bone. Ah, the piece de resistance, the numero uno, the debut of a long-time community member, and the very brightest of stars this year.
Oh my.
Azazora, Ancient Abyss, a tightly focused RPG Maker game from our very own Iffy. It brings the very essence of a much longer adventure and a whole fleshed out world down into a story with one journey and a single main character. I had so much fun playing as the energetic, plucky ninja girl and carefully managing resources to explore every inch of the dungeons. Brilliant, magnifico, just plain fun and touching, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Since you don't have all the time an omnipotent being like me has, I must bid you all adieu, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, until the next occasion our puny planet completes a whole solar orbit.
No, I've only saved her once. The other people on the leaderboard are different peeps.
All right.
That was great,
I
Raven.
love it when people hand it
Thank you, Raven.
on these lists.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that was
And
great.
big congrats to Iffy. Like, I'm so glad that
Yeah,
she
I
finally
didn't
able to
even
get
know
a
that was a
game
thing.
out.
I gotta
And
play an
it's
Iffy
something
game
she's
now.
Really tried to get going for a long time, and
Shit.
life comes at you sometimes, and I am so
Yeah, I'll
glad
play an
that
Iffy
she got to
game.
finish this, and it ended up
Absolutely.
so
I had no
good.
idea.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna,
Thank you, Raven.
Yeah, if he gets a little extra shot, I'm sorry. There's favoritism at play on this podcast, but when your wifey is involved, sometimes you know how it be.
I really liked Azora. I'm really
Yeah.
glad if you got to make a game.
Zora was a fantastic. All right, we have another listener list.
Let's go.
Coming in.
Fucking
Yep.
From
This is
Rex.
how just beat my Bombi score. Damn it.
Rip.
Okay, this comes in from Ghosty. Ghosty says, I did not play very many games at all this year. It seemed like I just bounced off most things I tried. So this year is a shorter list. Number 2, Planet Attrition.
What?
Yo! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Yes!
Simple and engaging.
Yes!
Surprisingly strategic. I finally beat John at a score attack game.
Ah!
Well done, nerd.
Oh my god, I got crushed on that one like immediately.
So bad too.
And number 1, Trails from Zero. I adore this little game. At least that's how it feels compared to Trails in the Sky. It's just one small cast, one complete plot, mostly, Maybe the characters overall aren't as strong, but still very good. For me, at least, one character does much to make the game land. The writing is very strong, and they don't get distracted or carried away with the story, nor does it overstay its welcome. Everything ties up very nicely at the end. Just a perfect story start to finish.
We love Tio.
Yep.
Which trails like that? One more time.
0.
Yeah. Oh man,
That one's real strong. It's got that real strong ending. That real strong story beat that they follow up from third. Yeah. Yeah, 0 is that is definitely the closest to a complete package that one of those games gets.
Yeah.
You know? Like
As long as you played the previous 3.
as long as you play the previous 3.
I think SC's as close as you get to that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right.
As
So
you
we're on to
should.
number 4.
Okay.
And I get to
getting
start
up
out.
there.
All right.
Number
I'm
4
getting
from
there.
Polly.
So up next in games that you don't expect to be as good as they actually are, we got Gal Guardian's Demon Purge.
Oh my god.
Well, Guardians
Yeah,
Demon
I wasn't
Purge.
sure when this was like on the cutting block for me if you would list it.
Oh no, this
Oh,
was not even
yeah.
close. This was on every iteration of my list. So this
Beautiful.
game was
I need to fucking play
always
this one.
safe. Like, this is like the very definition of a passion project, like we said.
Yeah.
Like, this is a game the creator wanted to make for years. He finally got to do it, and he did everything he wanted to do with it.
Nice.
Top to
Sounds like
bottom.
they did a good job.
Like, we went over this one last episode.
This is the Socks Make People Sexy Game of the Year podcast, or the SMPS Gotti podcast. We're on the second part now. The one who makes Rika Furude is one of the 3 people you're listening to here. And I found it very interesting and intriguing to hear all the games and choices throughout here so far. Basically, it's just been a blast listening to it.
So I won't, do a lot of repeating things we did. This is just a damn good action platformer. Like, when this game came out and it was revealed, oh, this is part of the Gal Gun series, so many people just got so up their ass about it. Like, in a way that was just like, dude, you sound like a fucking clown right now. Like, you were literally playing this game one stream ago and having a fantastic time, and then you found out it was part of Gal Gun and you were shitting your pants. Like, stop. You sound like a goddamn moron. Like, a good game is just a damn good game. And again, like, while this game does have
Morehouse
horny in it, it's not really focused on that. And a lot of the time, it's literally just kind of being done for the absurd. Like, there's nothing here that's trying to be titillating, I think.
It's just very
Titillating?
silly.
Like, it's very, like
Titillating, Polly?
Honey, which is literally horny. So, come on.
Unleash
there's a
the
guy
horn
character
is
that
what
gets
Polly's
introduced,
saying here.
a little bit in, and he's like, he's close.
and they call him like Ho Nissan.
Yeah, they call him Honey Son.
So
And
horny.
it's literally horny. So,
Red Sun.
yeah, this game is just super solid to play. Like, there's loads of extra collectibles and stuff. There's an incredibly difficult difficulty after you complete the game. I don't remember what it's called. And it's like something like ridiculous or something. I don't know. But I got about halfway through that.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, the enemy placements are so mean.
Different enemy placements?
Oh, the enemy placements are so fucked up.
Hard mode is gonna be hard mode.
See, I didn't know about this.
Oh, it's so hard. I literally learned the first half of this game speedrun because I almost wanted to kind of play it more. I played through this game back to back like 2 times. And then
nice.
I played it again while I was doing considerations. So I played this game 3 times.
Oh, shit.
I like this
Fucking
game
awesome.
a lot. I think this game is great.
Nice.
I think people need to just get past the fact
It wouldn't be
it's
number
a
4
Gal
otherwise.
Game. It is a fun little story in its own right. It's having a laugh at itself, and it is one of the best feeling little action platformers that I played this year. It just is like there's like some really fun like sub-weapon category or synergies that I found. It was just like, wait a minute, you can do this?
Yeah, I like that.
There's just a lot of fun to be had with this.
I
game.
like stuff like that.
And I think that if you like games like those Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon,
Yes,
stuff like that.
I
stuff
loved
like
Bloodstained,
Shovel Knight,
Curse of the Moon.
This is a game that is going to be. You will like this. It's good. It's fantastic. Go play Gal Guardians Demon Purge.
Gal Guardians.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, I've never been really into Castlevania at all, so this is probably my favorite Castlevania.
Fable.
I think that's totally fine. Like, this game's great. It's got that whole vibe. It's got great music.
I've
It's
seen
got
this.
fun characters.
This does look really
It's
fucking
just top
good.
to bottom, like, there's nothing really wrong with this game. It's just top to
Yeah.
bottom, a perfect little package, I think.
It does look really
A+
fun.
game feel.
A+ game.
yeah.
Dude, it feels like dude, I remember playing that fucking Love Live
Is it on
game
Steam?
earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And then like when I played the demo for this, I was like, holy shit. It's literally night and day in terms of game feel. Like, how did you fuck up this bad?
It is, okay.
With that Love Live game. They could have had another one of these on their hands, and they just like, God.
Oh yeah, that looks a lot like Symphony of the Night.
But yeah, Gal Guardians, Demon Purge.
Looks really good.
It's the truth.
Looks really good. Good
John!
choice, Polly.
I've got a list from Toasty.
For now.
Hi,
Hey!
I'm still Toasty, also known as Dare Tomatin Toaster, and I
Toasty!
will once again send in a last-minute submission with the three objectively best games I played this year. Number 3, Helen's Mysterious Castle, a small JRPG with small numbers that's big fun. It managed to make every enemy feel like its own puzzle, making each action much more meaningful and never random in the slightest once you have figured out the opponent's attack patterns. Excuse me. More JRPGs should take at least some amount of inspiration from this instead of throwing larger and larger amounts of stats at me that I can't possibly take into full consideration at any given time. That is 2, Helen's Mysterious Castle mentions a 2014
The game that still keeps going.
RPG Maker game.
Nice. I don't think I played that one
This
either.
and we're the ones championing it.
Absolutely. Fucking killing it. Number 2, Mouthwashing, my favorite narrative game of the year. Does everything it sets out to do within the runtime of a medium-length movie, making it hit that much harder due to barely ever having any downtime, aside from letting you explore the very limited environments. Jumping back and forth between two perspectives, one in the past and one in the present, was the perfect way to let the players slowly come to their own conclusions about the characters and unfolding events.
Sure.
With some of the story's biggest strengths being the things that weren't quite said until the very end. Hyper Demon, number 1, insanely fast-paced arcade FPS. You need to be a certain amount of insane to ever wrap your head around all of the different possibilities the
Hyper
surprisingly deep mechanics give you, and then still combine those effectively without wasting time or dying. Honestly, I'm not on that level of insanity, and I'm not sure whether I will ever be able to reach the end of this game. But despite that, climbing the leaderboard and seeing how many people gave up before me is probably the most satisfying high-score hunting experiences I've ever had.
Really?
Please add me on Steam so I can beat your score. Thanks. Love you, Polly, and other people, but mostly Polly.
Thanks, Toasty.
I'm glad mouthwashing got a mention.
Yeah, this is one I definitely want to play. Like, I've tried to stay pretty blind to it because I feel like it's a narrative game.
I have no idea.
Hyper
Totally up my
Demon.
alley. I just know that everything I've seen about
Maybe
it,
I
like,
should look
yep,
into Hyper
I'm
Demon.
Playing that. And who doesn't like clean mouthfeel, really?
What if your mouth gets too clean because you're drinking mouthwash?
Or you ate a toothpaste jelly bean,
Really like
Polly.
clean mouthfeel. I don't think that my mouth could be too clean. I think I just really like it.
God, why
Maybe
with
your
the three
stomach
Potsies
won't
are they
agree.
so
No, they
teasy?
won't. No, they'd hate it. They'd absolutely hate it. But Red,
Oh boy.
we're
What's
back
number
to you
4?
Again. Number 4.
We're in it.
We're in it.
We're
You're in it to
So-
win it like Iserman.
when I
Iserman.
saw what was coming up next, I started wincing. Oh boy,
Oh,
we're in the
God.
real shit now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told John a few months ago that I was going to play this game. I was going to cry a lot at the end, and it was going to be my game of the year.
Oh.
It's not my game of the
no.
year, but it's very high.
All right.
I don't know what this is.
My number 4 is Aquarium.
I knew it.
Aquarium.
I knew this one was coming in. We hadn't heard it yet, and I knew it was probably going to be high.
I was like, are they even going to know what this is?
Yeah, I know what aquarium is.
I remember Aquarium.
Yeah.
You should tell it to the audience.
This
You
is-
should explain it to the audience, however.
This one needs so much explanation, given all events surrounding it. This is a Hololive themed visual novel, directed and written like the last credit in this game is like written by Minato Aqua.
Yeah, like the person the
And
game
then-
is about.
Yeah, the character the game is about. But like she's in the credits as like story and producer, which is very funny to me. She graduated from Hololive a few months ago. This game came out originally in Japan in 2022, and then it got localized to everyone's shock in 2023.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll put that on my wish list. I'll play that eventually. And then I waited a year, and then she announced her graduation. I'm like, fuck. I guess I gotta play it now. And I think there's a little context needed for her graduation is that no one had graduated from Hololive in like 2 years, and for Hololive Japan 3 years. It was just not a thing that happened. And since then, there's been a bunch more announcements kind of coming rapid fire all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's kind of been an exodus in a way.
It's not really a huge exodus, but the 1-2 punch, there were 2 within 2 days, which was just when you're going from 2 years to a day between announcements.
Yeah.
It's just like, huh. Okay, something kind of does seem up. But anyways, when she announced her graduation, it was still a special event, and she got this whole month to herself.
Yeah.
Before the sky fell.
Yeah.
So I was playing this in the immediate aftermath.
Nipah.
And it was the perfect timing because she also hadn't reincarnated as a new persona yet.
Oh.
So when I played this game, she was gone, and that was very important to the emotional reaction I had to this.
Oh man.
This is a very, very cute and fluffy visual novel. It makes it doesn't hide what it is. It is a game for fans of her, and basically makes the assumption that you're in love with her.
Oh. Wow.
The whole thing is about dating her. Like 90% of it.
Naturally.
Fantastic. I want to make an entire game about dating me.
Ollie.
It
You're
is
gonna make the most popular game of all time.
It is a gift to her fans, you could say.
I'm dating Minato Aqua.
Yes. I think the humor is actually really good. I laughed a lot at this. There's 2 side routes that are optional for other Hololive members that are just very, very silly, like the founding of a new kingdom based on curry or something. It's bizarre. Or running off to be a pirate with Marine.
Yar.
Very I played a similar visual novel this year where it was very jokey, and it feels like a very similar thing where I married somebody and they became my potato wife.
Beautiful. The reason this got all the way up to number 4 is because the ending really caught me off guard.
Is it because she was gone already, or is it because it was just an emotional ending?
It's a very emotional ending, no matter what. But when mixed with the real world fact that she was gone, made it fucking devastating. And I had heard that the ending was sad and that you're gonna have an emotional reaction to it. But I got completely caught off guard of what the ending actually is, because there are some plot threads that just go absolutely nowhere. The ending really caught me off guard and was like, oh, okay, we're doing this now, huh? Oh, we're in the endgame all of a sudden.
Endgame.
I don't want to spoil it, even though I don't think anybody here is going to be in the audience for this. Yeah. But this was probably the hardest I cried at a game all year by a huge margin.
Oh my god!
My goodness.
This was like...
That's so good.
My goodness.
This was like... Cry for 2 hours during the ending. Take an hour to recompose myself. Then open it back up, go to one of the earlier save files and read it again and still start crying all over again. And then... I attempted to open the Fuomoko stream where they played it.
Oh no.
And I go to towards the end game, and they're basically holding back tears. I see a chat message that just says, all caps, "I am in so much pain right now." and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get through that.
I'm
but
out.
if there's
Bail.
if I
This
ever
is
wanted you
so
to
much
just
pain
fucking
right
rip my
now.
soul out, I'm gonna load up that full video again.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord, are we watching Look Back again?
Maybe
Speaking of a soul-ripping experience.
The ending afterwards.
Yeah,
'cause-
You can tell me too. I'm
yeah,
interested.
you can
Okay.
just drop it in chat afterwards.
yeah. This one, it got me good. That's all I can say. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
had a
cute until
feeling
it
like I
kills
knew
you.
you were posting a lot about this one, talking a lot about it. I saw a lot of it from you, and I knew that this was probably going to be on your list somewhere. So
Yeah. I think number 4 was a solid
that's a
entry.
solid pick.
Again, when I call the top 5 the perfect
The
games.
perfect game, right?
Yeah. So, you got a listener list.
We got a listener list from our good pal Gesh.
Gesh.
86, who for some reason is credited in this list
Oh my-
as Gesh88.
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Maybe it was we got a new version of Gesh after all these years. He finally updated to the 88 model of his name, I guess. But it's also funny that Tomato and Toaster is also German, so we got both German lists, like both German guest lists together. That's pretty fun. So
It's a time zone thing. They sent their list together,
yeah,
basically.
there you go. So, happy holidays, Soxcast. Please excuse the last-minute submission. It was choice paralysis for the third place that always kept me from completing a list. Now that it's all or nothing, here goes. Number 1, and I'm shocked that this is the first time I'm hearing this one. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Oh yeah.
Here? I'm kidding. That's a dumb joke. That's a dumb Game Awards joke. Anyway, such a rich and fantastic DLC. It could have been called Elden Ring 2, and it probably wouldn't have even disappointed. It really reminded me how much I adored the main game 2 years ago. That game
Nice.
was 2 years ago?
I would say it was only 2 years ago.
I'm having a crisis right now. The main game 2 years ago, and even made me do another, the 4th playthrough of it, after I was done with the Land of Shadow.
Holy shit, 4 playthroughs.
Some people really like themselves some Elden Ring.
That one's like 100 hours long, though. Elden Ring's too big.
Number 2, Black Myth Wukong.
Oh God,
Return
this
to Monk.
one.
A monkey? Is that's
Monkey.
the joke.
It's
The
a
one where
Return
the
to Monkey.
creators didn't want you
I don't
to
know why I read it as a monk.
spread any
This phrase, return to monkey, for years. I've returned to Monkey.
messages.
Extremely satisfying combat and stunning in
Wokeness.
visuals and art style. I was one of the people who barely knew about Wukong through Dragon Ball, so the more mythologically authentic setting of the fairy tale really gripped me here. And number 3, Toho, Hero of Ice Fairy.
I figured there's one coming.
Yeah, there has to be.
Toho.
It's a guess list.
Oh, that's another.
That's another
I'm
Cheerio
also
game.
I'm tracking my Toho count. I think we're at
another
3.
okay. We have so many counters now. An
fun.
action game that is very
Numbers.
similar to Toho 17.5, but might even come out on top in direct comparison. The bullet hell in it is both challenging and incredibly flashy. The art style is lovely and even a little kinky at times.
Ooh.
But not so naughty that I'd mind. For Toho standards, it has a surprisingly good story, too. That's a very funny qualifier.
Yeah.
All that said, have a good time. Bis bald.
Nice.
John!
It's
My number
busy
4?
typing, compiling the numbers.
Yeah, I love that that is a constant throughout this whole show this time around. Is we hear a game said and John just clack 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 clack. Like
I
that
didn't
is-
realize it was that loud. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't change it now because we got to keep it consistent. So,
Okay.
all right. So John, I need a number 4.
Ooh.
Okay. Fuck. Sorry. Like for a
You just
second.
forget what your own number 4 was.
Duh. Yeah. No. Of course. It's been
It's been.
5 hours. Probably. All right. I'm in there.
It's been 5 hours since you
Oh,
left Sanity.
she did it. Ah!
Oh man. So I played this. So again, the running theme here, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Tales of Fantasia don't really fit the theme here. The theme this year is collections of smaller games.
Sure.
This one is an anthology. This is Anthology of the Killer.
Anthology of the Killer. All right.
Anthology of the
I
Killer.
love this game. So I kind of talked about it. I wrote a little review of this one. I played Catamites' games for years, and I've really enjoyed and respected them. I remember in 2013, someone made a list of new freeware games that came out, and they were like they put my game Quarantine next to a new Catamites game, Lake of Roaches, and I felt so starstruck. I was like, I'm being considered in the same breath as a Catamites game? Holy shit. But I've also like kind of bounced off a lot of his stuff over the years. I think I complained on here when I played Magic Wand.
Yeah.
Because that's when it's presented like kind of an RPG. And the fighting is deliberately like nothing.
That was almost Hot Ship.
But it also, the story doesn't go
Eat Hot Ship.
It's like deliberately a joke. Like they kind of set up promises and then deflate them on purpose. And then the game just kind of ends. And I was like, what on earth? It's very anti-John in a lot of ways.
Right, yeah.
That was a triple
but
double.
like he's doing this shit on purpose. He's been doing this shit on purpose. It's all like in pursuit of a specific effect.
Yeah.
You read his games crit. You play his games, and it all kind of comes together. I think the ones that really landed for me before Anthology of the Killer were stuff like Murder Dog 4, Trial of the Murder Dog, which I just replayed with Cecile. It's still a fucking all-time banger. Because they're so short that there's not really much time for like setting up a big promise of what's gonna happen. Fucking microphone keeps falling.
You're so excited.
All the straights today. Wow. Straights come back in a big way today.
I think Anthology of the Killer strikes a balance. It's almost like it kind of meets me halfway, where it's still very much like
1983.
Where the thing that Anthology of the Killer keeps doing throughout its all 9 games that were all published kind of anonymously at first on Game Jolt, which rules, and then under a pseudonym, and then he put them all together later. Oh, it's so fucking cool. Is that his control of the language? These are all Unity games. His control of the language of Unity horror game is perfect. Where he'll just do this like extended setup of something legitimately kind of spooky and eerie, and then it just collapses into like into a really, really funny joke. He'll just completely suck the wind out of it with a really good joke.
This is a big reason of why I want to play these.
Yeah, they're not at all they're shitpost games in a way that really appeals to me, because it's the kind of shitpost you can only make when you're really, really good at the game that you're roasting.
Yeah.
And the characters are just really cute. This is the most like Blorbo filled Catamites game of my life. I love Beefy. I love ZZ. I love all of them. They're fucking adorable. And it's just really, really funny. I think the one that really brought me in was the third one. I think that's Drool of the Killer, which takes place in like a haunted pool. And it just like it just kind of clicked for me, and I just got completely into the comic voice. They're very text heavy, like BB is constantly commenting on what's going on. And her character voice is just perfect. It's so funny. Like Catamites games have been funny like this for a decade plus. But just something about how this one is put together just kind of unlocked it for me, and it all clicked together in my head, and I just straightforwardly adored it. If you're up for something that definitely does not take itself seriously, and
yeah, that would be most of us.
Not like a roasting, but like something sort of a parody of like the language of Unity horror game.
It's a riff.
It's a riff, it's something that I really, really enjoyed. It's a bunch of really gorgeous 3D spaces with really funny pitch perfect writing. I can't recommend Anthology of the Killer enough.
Cool. Anthology of the Killer. Wow.
Yeah, this one is on the list as well.
Well, that's a good place to stop it right after John's fourth. We're an hour 5 into the last one. Probably only 2 more Daily Nipahs, and then we'll be done with the podcast. But that was another great Daily Nipah day. Thank you so much, SMPS crew, for keeping us company. Zoda. We're on 2,000 fates. Still not quite at another miracle yet. I'm getting up to cracking numbers here. We have no Nipahs yet here. But we do have 28 straights, 24 houses, 78 triple doubles, 12 double triples, and still only 3 keep rollins. Remember, we got 2 in the first 200 rolls. But straights were one of the last places for a while. They have skyrocketed. It seems like triple doubles are going to easily win, however, here. But that brings another close to the Daily Nipah. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you'd like to join in, socksmadepeoplesexy.itch.io. You can download it for free there. You've been listening to Polly these last few days, along with co-hosts John and Rhett, who also do their own things via artistry and gaming, so you should check them out as well. But until next time, thank you so much for joining this Daily Nipah. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. Positive vibes, y'all, and have a wonderful night.